Okay. So today we will cover the three balance emotions now, of our jinx: jealousy, shame, and anger. Last time we did this session on inadequacy, and just we wanted to cover it, shortly. What is it? Inadequacy, as we saw, is very deep within all of us. Filled with love and hate together, and therefore we cannot ever let that go. And it is also there sizzling because it is fed by the biggest industry in the world. Can you guess which industry?
Education.
Pharmaceutical.
One more guess.
Advertising.
Yes, advertising. Beauty, correct. Advertising, which constantly tells us, you are not good enough. You need to go to Thailand to be good enough. You need to wear XYZ to be good enough. So yes, that is one. And second big industry.
Social media.
Social media could be, yes. Another is that big industry is the self-help industry. Which keeps on telling us, I am not good enough, you are not committed enough, you are not honest enough, you are not passionate enough, you are not, म्हणजे आपल्याला constantly ते remind करत असतात. And based on that reminder only their existence is at stake. So that is why it is important for them to remind us. We also feel, and whatever they say, we always like it. म्हणजे काही जर ते म्हटले तरी, if we are not committed enough.
Sir, the self-help we should elaborate because at least मला तरी ते recently समजलं. Self-help म्हणजे काय?
अच्छा. Self-help industry is this industry run by people like Secret, the people who write Secret, the people like Robin, who wrote the story, who became a monk with a Ferrari. People like Anthony Robbins, who wrote a book and has earned millions of dollars just by giving his lectures, where he walks on coal, burning coal, to prove that anything can be done. So this self-help industry is a very big industry. Or also in India, it is run by motivational speakers, where they tell you that anything is possible to you if you decide.
Maheshwari and all.
Maheshwari. आणि हे सगळे लोक म्हणजे खूप आहेत असे. And they help us remind ourselves that we are not okay, and we need to strive further and further. And मग जेव्हा आपल्याला त्रास होतो त्याचा खूप, when we are down, when we are घरी येतो, and when our son or daughter is not doing well in her exams, when our husband says you are not putting your enough attention in the house, when your parent, your patients say that कुछ तो भी गलत हो रहा है, and then we really feel bad and we feel down. And the only way to mirror the inadequacy is which is the best way to mirror the inadequacy emotion? We talked about it. आपण बोललो की जर तुम्ही एकदम खूप डाऊन झालं तर काय करायचं?
Journaling, talking to someone, recording. Is it?
Yeah, talking to someone. Who is that someone? You should have a 2 a.m. friend. A friend whom you can talk, and whom you can talk and he will listen to you without giving you advice, without telling you how wrong you are again once more, without reminding you that you always do this again and again. So we need a 2 AM friend like that. आणि आपला हा ग्रुप झालाय आता. I think you should also use this group. You should use this group because we now understand what inadequacy is, and we need not now start giving advice to each other. So one of these days, Trupti, you might receive a call from me, and then you will say, I will tell you okay, I'm down and all that, and so when I call you up like that, Trupti, please don't start telling me, or sir, asa tumhi kasa manayala lagle, this is not okay.
No, sir, I'll patiently just listen.
Patiently just listen to me. One of the bad days which I'm having, and you literally have to say nothing. I mean, we know what is wrong with us. We know what is the problem with us, and we need to therefore understand each other and treat each other like that. आणि खरंच आपल्याला याची गरज असते, खरंच गरज असते. When we are down like that, and we need desperate to talk someone to like that, not for advice, not for any की आता मी काय करू आणि मी कसं केलं म्हणजे मी याच्यातनं निघेल. Actually, we don't need any such advice. We just need someone to listen to us, without any criticism. And let us use this group only if we can. If you are friends, nothing like that. But even if you are not friends, my suggestion to you is ki start utilizing each other to talk, knowing each other, because असं भेटणं फार कठीण आहे. असे लोक भेटणं आणि without giving advice, having to listen to you is very difficult. So some of you like Sachin Gavde, Tipali, Hemlata, I think you know Ujjwal sir very well. So you can probably use Ujjwal sir, for such 2 AM talks. Ujjwal sir can probably use someone like me. I can use someone like Ujjwal, and I utilize Snehal, I utilize Rajashree, sometimes I talk. So we should, inadequacy has to be tackled and has to be dealt with. So let us use it. Okay, so today we are going to deal with the other 3 emotions. And that 3 are jealousy, shame, anger. So Jinx, J standing for jealousy, S standing for shame, and N standing for anger. We have dealt with I and X. X is for anxiety and I is for inadequacy. So jealousy. Jealousy has 2 angles. One is the people angle. So if someone in your house is an elder child, he or she will be jealous about you vis-a-vis the sibling. त्याच्या लहान भावाबरोबर त्याला वाईट वाटत असेल. So this is a people angle. So there is the elder sibling feels that the younger sibling is a rival to his relationship or her relationship with his mother, and therefore there is an intense jealousy of that nature. So it's a sibling jealousy. This is also a jealousy which is written in novels, explained in movies a lot. Another is a personal angle jealousy, where I feel resentment because of someone else's success or advantage, like what I felt. When I give an example, when my friend came with his Mercedes, so that was a resentment. It is a personal angle, and it is a resentment caused because someone else is more successful than me. Someone has more than what I have. So that is a personal angle. So jealousy has two angles, people angle and personal angle. And the first angle, we always see a lot of it in movies and novels, and that you must have been using a lot. Jing's family includes emotions like distrust, denial, suspicion, others also, apart from just jealousy. Its purpose is always twofold. Its main purpose is to tell us that something is going to threaten our relationship. जसं जेव्हा आपल्या मोठ्या मुलाला वाटतं की younger child is threatening the relationship, he will do a lot of things to defend his relationship. And the second purpose of jealousy, which I felt with my friend, its purpose is to help me become better than what I am. So if you look at their purpose is very justifiable. म्हणजे बरोबर आहे त्यांचं purpose, their emotions. Okay. Now, jealousy or emotions often are fed by inadequacy. So last year, emotion which we talked about, inadequacy. So the more inadequate I am, more incomplete I feel, more worthless I feel about myself, more jealous I am about others. So this relationship is, vicious cycle between inadequacy and jealousy. And jealousy, because it is about people, whether their success or whether their love, it also creates social anxiety. So jealousy creates not just anxiety, which we talked about in the last time, it creates social anxiety. म्हणजे मला लोकांबरोबर जायला आवडत नाही. I don't like to call them. I don't like go to the birthday parties. Even if I go, I will just go at the last moment, have a food and just come off. So this is what is called as social anxiety. So jealousy feeds a lot of social anxiety. And therefore, many times jealousy directly affects our social skills because of this social anxiety angle to it. So because I spend less time with my friends, less time with my known people, my skills to negotiate with them, relate to them, to nurture the relationship with them drops down. And therefore they affect my social relationships. When jealousy becomes large, that means his emotion वाढतच गेली, either because of inadequacy and because of social anxiety, and because something is happening in my life which is not as good as I think it should be, then it is either visible in my aggressive behavior or my withdrawal behavior. The same thing like inadequacy. Inadequacy can be seen as superiority complex or inferiority complex. Similarly, jealousy can also be seen as an aggressive behavior. When I start aggressively attacking people, verbally attacking people, not attacking me, not physically attacking people, verbally attacking people, or I will withdraw from them completely. So how to manage it? So how to manage your child's emotion of jealousy? Like we said, deal with his primary emotions in 3 steps. So if your child is jealous of someone, pause, label the emotion, and explain the meaning of the emotion, and do it as many times as it is relevant for your child. The biggest trap in jealousy is, it is a judgment trap. Jealousy feeling आपल्याला आवडत नाही. We generally treat it as a negative emotion. Jealousy होणं बरोबर नाही. दुसऱ्याची success resent करणं is not a good idea, which we have been taught by our parents. We try to teach the same thing to our children. So in this dealing with this primary emotion, labeling, the biggest trap is the judgment trap we might fall into. So therefore, I've just written it. Anticipate this emotion even if it is not obvious. Many parents, when I tell them, and you have 2 children, one of the classical response I get from them is, "Nahi, sir, माझा मुलगा फार चांगला आहे." किंवा माझी मुलगी फार वेगळी आहे, शी इज व्हेरी लव्हिंग, शी इज व्हेरी केअरिंग, therefore she will not be jealous about my younger child, असं डायरेक्टली ते म्हणतात ते असं. And I keep on telling them that it is masking as a withdrawal behavior. So assume like that, anticipate that emotion. Don't ever assume that my older sibling does not have jealousy. It is not possible. It is, structurally it is impossible. Jitka motha mulga, see motha, the older child is in love with you. He has seen a very close relationship, has been with a very close relationship with you. And suddenly he sees a younger one where all the attention is diverted to that younger one. All the care is diverted to the younger one. He feels it. I mean, there is nothing that will stop the feeling of resentment. Feeling that he's losing something every day. So it is obvious that emotion will be very strong in an older child. So anticipate this emotion even if it is not obvious. And remember that its symptoms can both be aggressive and withdraw. कधी कधी मुलं मारतात त्या लहान मुलं असले तरी, आणि कधी कधी ते एकदम विड्रॉ होतात. म्हणजे ते कधी कधी आम्ही असे पण पाहिलेत मुलं की चिमट्या घेतात हळूच जाऊन त्या लहान मुलाच्या. इट्स नॉट, sometimes the symptoms are not very clear. So now let us see some cases. Okay, so here is a case. Priya is a 9-year-old child. She is very loving. She teaches her brother Nivan, 6 years old. Everything she teaches. काही पण केलं, painting, flag painting, greeting painting, everything she teaches his brother. One day, Nivan comes to mom and tells their mom that his Maggie has a very spicy green chili in it. He has eaten that spicy chili and is jumping up and down because of the spiciness, hotness. But her mom knew that she had not included any spicy mirchi in the Maggie. So she was surprised to see it in Nivan's bowl. So when she asked Priya if she had added green chili in the Neil's Maggie, sorry, I've changed the name here unknowingly. It is not Nivan, it is not Neil, it is Nivan. Maggie, she ran off to another room. Priyala ती विचारते, आई काय झालं, तू टाकलीस का ती चिली? She ran in the other room. How should mom mirror Priya's emotion? So how do you think she should mirror the emotion of Priya's mom? Any ideas? Any suggestions?
I think first thing would be to tell, or it is natural to be jealous, perhaps.
The background आवाज जरा जास्त आला. Anyone wants to comment?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got disconnected. I meant to say that perhaps to start with, the mother can say that it's okay to be jealous or natural to be jealous as a start.
Okay. हा पण तू कसं म्हणशील? 9 वर्षाच्या प्रियाला तू हा जेलस शब्द डायरेक्टली वापरशील का नाही वापरणार? म्हणजे व्हॉट डू यू थिंक?
Okay, maybe नाही वापरणार. Okay. I'm not sure how I will say it exactly now. Okay. Try it. No, probably I can start with saying that I know that you observe that I pay more attention to your little brother or sister than you. Is that what you observe, or is that what you feel?
अच्छा. Okay. So इथे प्रियाने त्याच्या मॅगी मध्ये मिरची टाकली हे तिला लक्षात आलंय. She has gone inside and now you are with Priya. What will you do?
So we can ask Priya that why you ran off to another room, and then we can then she'll have some explanation. I had to do something what they say, and then we can just tell that eating Maggie with lots of chilies, it's very spicy. What do you think? Should we eat Maggie with lots of chilies? Then she'll say something about Maggie and chili, and then we can swiftly ask her, oh, I don't know how come it happened that Neil's Maggie was so spicy. Then she'll definitely give some explanation, and then we can just tell that, okay, I do understand that you are being naughty and you added chilies. Don't you like your brother or something? Not like your brother, but in some way. Directly questioning her, like why you added chilies in Neil's Maggie.
Barabar.
That would be direct allegations.
Correct.
So we can just ask it, why did you run? What do you think of eating Maggie with chilies? And then the conversation can move. And then slowly we can just ask her, okay, you're jealous? You don't like? What happened? Is something hurting you? Then definitely they'll tell something.
Okay.
सर असं होऊ शकतं का की आपण म्हणू शकतो की तुझ्या पण मॅगीत तेवढीच स्पाइस आहे का? मे बी माझ्याकडनं चुकून
Yes.
जास्त पडलीये त्यात.
ब्युटिफुल. करेक्ट. आणि थोडं याच्या पुढे जा ना अजून.
म्हणजे मग इन रिॲक्शन म्हणजे आपण जर आपल्यावर घेतलं की चुकून माझ्याकडनं जास्त झालीये का?
ओके.
आपण जर तिला हे केलं की तुला पण तो त्रास होतोय जो नीलला होतोय तो मला कळतोय. मे बी त्या ह्याच्याने ती बोलू शकते की नाही माझ्या ह्याच्यात नाहीये, माझी नॉर्मल आहे, मी त्याच्या ह्याच्यात टाकली. मे बी तीच कन्फेस करेल समोरून.
आय सी. मे बी. करेक्ट. हा पण एक पॉइंट येत नाही अजून. हा go ahead, but you're trying it from different angles and that is what we want to do. You're using different angles,
I feel like what we say, what words we use, more than that, it's like what is the attitude with which we are approaching the child is more important.
I see.
Yeah, it's like it's not about that particular incident or what will happen will be the result of it. It's like every day interaction, every day's trust, your distrust, every day's your eyes speak more than your words. So it's the compile effect that is going to work.
You're right.
Yeah. So I like the same thing. Like there is a difference between the way I approach my son and the way my husband will approach my son for the same incidents.
Oh, I see.
Maybe the sentences that I am going to use and he is going to use is exactly the same, but the impact that is going to be on the child, because I am saying and because he is saying, it is going to be different because he is having a different equation with each of us. So maybe what I will do in such situation is like, first of all, I'll calm down myself and then maybe I'll just go and just sit over there with him and just wait for him to respond. Maybe he's already feeling guilty about it. We are thinking like we are going there to fix something, or maybe I feel instead of going with that approach, instead of if I go there with an attitude like, okay, we are sailing in the same boat. Sometime even I would have behaved like that when I was a child, with my siblings. So that kind of connection might help my child to open up with me. Maybe I don't need much words, but maybe I just need the understanding, listening ear at times. Of course, it's not that every time the same solution will work. So depending on the situation, it will differ.
Correct.
Yeah,
and like you rightly said, if the trust talk with your child is very high, just sitting with her will help your, she will immediately start talking. I mean, it's just possible. Yes. And if the trust talk with your child is low, she will just look at you, in a very daring way manner, आता तू प्रूव्ह करूनच दाखव की मी टाकली so I mean, we don't know this all. You're right, this all things are changing, will be different. And like you rightly said, it depends upon the relationship, the baggage before this event has happened also, not just this event that is going to matter at the end of it. Okay. And you can therefore approach it from very different angle. Basically, if the trust stock is very low and you start, suppose मग तुम्हाला फार लॉंग रूट घ्यावा लागेल. काय झालं ग तू? काय बसली मग तिच्यावर बर, she doesn't say. निवानला आता मिरची खाल्ली बघ कसं त्याचं किती त्याला त्रास होतो ना ग. मिरची असं जास्त खाल्ली की खूपच दुखत असेल ना, तोंडात खूप दुखत असेल ना. So you just be with that emotion of Nivan which he has created, fully knowing perhaps she is created and not knowing now, not taking the next step की तू केलंयस का काय केलंय मला काही म्हणायचं नाहीये, but just being with that emotion आणि fully knowing कि when Nivan is crying like that, maybe Nivan is jumping up and down like that, Priya is going to feel bad about it, he is going to feel bad about it, whether she does it as a challenge to me also, or whether she has done it because she is very jealous and she is very angry with me for what I have done something. 10 मिनिटापूर्वी मी तिच्यावर काहीतरी केलं असल्यामुळे ती माझ्यावर अँग्री आहे म्हणूनही केलं असेल तिने. So you have to start something somewhere like that and help her get into that emotion of Nivan, which will help her open up. Any other trick? But the more important aspect here is that jealousy should not be labeled bad. That's all. But that we already talked. We should anticipate it and we should move with that. Okay. Can we move to the next? So this is a jealousy of first variety. People jealousy.
Second, how to explain our child that it is not good and shouldn't be done.
You should never tell. Never.
Then how would they understand?
Because jealousy behave करते ती आणि तिला ते लागलंय आणि she is angry with you, not with the child actually.
Okay.
And therefore your job is to say कि jealousy is okay. आता when to say this is a matter की jealousy मध्ये तू आता मारू नाही शकत कोणाला. jealousy मध्ये तू असं काही करू नाही शकत. Whether this is the right time to tell or not, it depends upon the situation, like Kranti was saying, If she starts saying ki mama, yes, मैं जाकलं आणि मला असं झालं, then you can say very clearly ki yes, yes Priya, it is तुला असं वाटणं की मी तुझ्याकडे लक्ष देत नाहीये is very very valid. आणि त्याच्यामुळे तुला असं वाटतं की मी त्याच्याचकडे लक्ष देते म्हणून तुला राग आलाय माझा, हे पण बरोबर आहे. परंतु याचा अर्थ असं निवानसाठी असं काहीतरी करायचं की निवानला त्याचा त्रास होईल, हे बरोबर नाही. सो सेपरेट द इमोशन अँड द ऍक्शन विच इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ द इमोशन. म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय, तू तिला मारणंही बरोबर नाही निवानला. You can be jealous about Nivan, very very correct, but you can't hate him. So we just want to tell her or him, jealousy is absolutely okay, emotion is absolutely okay, without and also simultaneously telling him expressing that jealousy in a harmful manner is not okay. असं मधुरा होत असेल का तुझ्या दोघा मुलांचं?
होतं सर,
होतं
कन्सिस्टंटली चालू असतं.
हो, ओके.
त्याने असं केलं, मग तू असं केलं त्याला, मग तू त्याचंच ऐकलं, मग माझं नाही ऐकलं.
I see.
मग त्याचं जसं म्हटलं तसं ते अग्रेसिव्ह बिहेवियर मध्ये कन्वर्ट होतं. तर ते
Okay.
मला आबिर मध्ये दिसतं, म्हणजे
I see.
त्याच्या मनाच्या विरुद्ध किंवा खूप त्याला म्हणजे आम्ही त्याला सांगतो की आता रिदानची काळजी घे शाळेत. पण
Okay.
रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी म्हणजे आता मला कळते की हे सांगणं पण
Correct.
नॉट नेसेसरी, म्हणजे
Yes.
तो म्हणेल की काय हे मला काय सांगताय, म्हणजे
बरोबर.
I know that किंवा I will only do that only, but we have to tell that to him असं वाटतं. मग ते बिचारा he comes into that pressures आणि so many
Yeah.
things, so many.
Yes.
एखादा टॉय घेतला तरी कंपॅरिझन होते, ह्याने असं केलं मला तसं केलं. मग तो एकटा असताना त्याच्यावर तसं रागवून घेतो, ए जास्त असं करू नकोस हं, असं एकटा असताना बघतो आणि मी लांबून बघत असते की हे असं करतोय हा.
अच्छा.
पण ते दोघं त्यांचं मॅनेज करतात. पण नाही, ते असतं, होत राहतं त्यांचं. पण हे खूप वेळा म्हणजे निग्लेक्टच होतं ती गोष्ट. असं कधी मिरर तर नाही करत आम्ही, मिरर तर होतच नाही. म्हणजे रादर आबिरवरतीच जास्त जबाबदारी, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टाकून you have to own the responsibility, you have to behave, you have to be best with your brother, you love your brother, you love your
Correct.
काही कारणच नसतं, म्हणजे ते वेगळंच असतं ऍक्च्युली, हे करायलाच नको हे.
बरोबर. नाही, and especially when you want to mirror this emotion, ना, you have to take him aside. आणि त्यावेळेस लहाना नको तिथे.
बरोबर.
Because there is something which you want to tell him, no? Which is the way you are now relating to your younger one is also out of love, and when you were relating with him earlier, that was also out of love. So you should always tell this when you are alone with the elder son. How is this happening, Trupti, with Arna and Adhiraj also?
येस सर, खूप जास्त.
Okay.
आणि अर्णा अर्णा जस्ट डेरली म्हणते, मला फार राग आलाय मम्मा, तू त्याच्याशी जास्त बोलली.
Straight away म्हणते.
हा, स्ट्रेट अवे.
Okay.
तर मला नाही आवडलं. तू आधीला बच्चू म्हणते, तू मला फक्त सोना म्हटली, बच्चू म्हणतच नाही. म्हणजे इतक्या सिंगल गोष्टींवरनं पण ती कम्पेअर करते.
I see.
मग नेक्स्ट टाइम मला आधीला सोना म्हणावं लागतं, तिला बच्चू म्हणावं लागतं. मग ती म्हणते, हा बघ आता कसं बरोबर केलं ना मम्मा तू.
अच्छा.
मला आवडत नाही हो, तू माझी मम्मा आहे. म्हणजे तिची अशी शी इज व्हेरी क्लिअर. आणि ती असं म्हणते पण, मम्मा आय फील व्हेरी जेलस समटाइम्स.
I see.
तिला म्हणते ना, व्हॉट इज जेलसी? सी यू लव्हिंग एनीवन मोर दॅन मी इज जेलसी. तिला एवढंच समजतं.
अच्छा. Beautiful definition, ना? Yeah, very beautiful.
पण ते म्हणजे कळतं सर मला, पण आय डोंट नो हाऊ टू एक्सप्लेन हर दॅट इट इज नॉट गुड.
No. You should never do that.
I don't do that. पण मग आधी I used to give rational explanation. अरे, he's a little bro now. तू त्याला किती मिस करायची जेव्हा आपण लंडनला होतो तेव्हा तू, मग आता आपण परत जायचंय का? मग तीच म्हणते, नाही मला नाही माझ्या भावाला सोडून जायचं.
I see.
तर मग मी असं काहीतरी एक्सप्लेनेशन तिला रॅशनल आधी द्यायचे.
I see. Good, but you now noticed it now.
येस.
Yeah. And this is a very constant feeling of a elder sibling. The more the elder sibling expresses like Arna is expressing, better it is. I think even Madhura's son also expresses it very clearly, which is very good, very good. Then it is constantly we have a chance to mirror it, and therefore constantly we have to chance to diffuse it, and tell her that you're okay. I mean, this feeling is absolutely okay. And unless he starts hitting the younger one, you should not even worry about telling you should not hate him वगैरे असं सांगायची गरज नाही. हा, जर तो करायला लागला तर you need to then separate the emotion and the action. Okay, let us take this is more aggressive case because the child was a younger one. He's a 6-year-old child, and he got a baby girl. a sister, and he played with baby all the time. But one day, his mom found out that baby started crying for no reasons. And when he asked Swastik, she asked Swastik, he said, I don't know why she's crying. But this happened several times. She did not know what is happening with the baby. Why is baby crying when the baby is with Swastik? She thought that maybe Swastik is not handling the child properly. काहीतरी चुकीचं उचलतोय तिला, चुकीचं काहीतरी करतोय म्हणून maybe she is crying. And then one day she found that the baby's skin was red at different places, showing that it was a pinch mark. Chimta, basically. It was a chimta, literally. And she was very angry. She literally wanted to, cane Swastik when this happened. And that time she called me up and she said, "Kai kuru sir ata?" What to? I would have, because I knew what you always said, jealousies should not be, should be listened to and should be mirrored to. How will you help Swastik's mom? थोडासा अग्रेसिव्ह इव्हेंट आहे मगापेक्षा. And the reason is also because the child is a younger child,
So Swastik mom can sit with Swastik and the baby and just pretend to notice it for the very first time. की अरे
Okay.
बापरे, लाल कसं झालंय, दुखतंय बाळाला म्हणूनच हे होतंय, किती रडतोय. नाही कसं होतं ना, आपण रडल्यावरती आपल्याला दुखतं, आपण खूप रडतो. मग तुला काय वाटतं, कशामुळे झालं असेल, कसं दुखत असेल ना एकदम जास्त, म्हणूनच एवढं रडतोय, त्रास होतो बाबा खूप, असं काहीतरी. अँड देन ऑब्विसली स्वस्तिक पण काहीतरी देईलच, त्याचे एक्सप्लेनेशन असतीलच की हे झालंय ते झालंय काहीतरी. अँड देन असं नाही व्हायला पाहिजे ना, पण कसं वाटतं ना आपल्याला जर असं लागलं तर खूप दुखतं. जस्ट वी कॅन एक्सप्लेन स्वस्तिक की किती दुखत असेल असं आणि किती रडतंय त्याच्यामुळे बेबी. मग स्वस्तिकला म्हणजे थोडस गिल्टी वाटेल की आपण आपल्यामुळे दुखतात, बिकॉज त्याला माहिती असेल आतमध्ये कुठेतरी की आपण हे केलेलं आहे. देन ही रिअलाइज की हो, म्हणजे पण जास्त काहीच नाही बोलायचं, एवढंच बोलून दुखतंय करून काय करायचं, आपण औषध लावायचं का, असं.
अच्छा अच्छा. What do others feel? Any other method?
And even we can also ask की बाबा तुला पण झालंय का, काही चावलं वगैरे आहे का, काही किडा वगैरे मच्छर आलेत का, असं काही.
ओके.
तुला पण झालंय का, त्याला झालंय बेबीला, म्हणजे
अच्छा अच्छा.
असं पण आपण विचारू शकतो, म्हणजे त्यांना वाटेल की हो आपली मम्मी कशी वेडी आहे.
नाही डिफरंट वे आपण असं करू
सिस्टरला
शकतोय का
विचारू
की
शकतो, म्हणजे बाळ रडलं तर तुला कसं वाटतं असं त्याला विचारू.
ओके. हा नाही, पण ते बाळ रडतच असेल ना त्याच्यासमोरच.
हा, तर तुला कसं वाटतंय, म्हणजे तुला काय वाटतंय की बाळ रडू द्यायचं का, की कसं लागलं असेल रे त्याला, तुला माहितीये का काय कसं लागलं.
हा ओके ओके.
मग तू म्हणेल की नाही मला नाही माहिती, बाळ आताच झालेलं आहे लाल, ते म्हणून रडते ती. तो म्हणजे सांगणार नाही कदाचित ते सगळ्या गोष्टी, आणि आपल्याला पण इमिजिएटली त्याला हे नाही करता येणार की तूच केलं चिमटं.
बरोबर. It may or may not happen. Correct.
हा, म्हणजे आयडियली असं झालं तर, असं जर रिअल लाईफ मध्ये झालं तर पटकनच आई असंच म्हणेल की अरे तू चिमटा काढलास का, लाल झालेली दिसते, काय रे सारखं बाळ रडतं तुझ्यामुळे, असं होईल, असं नॅचरली होतं हे.
करेक्ट.
आणि बाळ असेल तर मग अजूनच हे वाटतं आयांना पण. आपल्याला ऍक्च्युअली त्याला डायरेक्टली नाही विचारायचं की तू काढलाय का चिमटा. त्यामुळे
हा
त्याला
मग इन
फक्त
केस आपण असं पण करू शकतोय ना की आपण त्याला
कसं
विचारू
लागलं
शकतोय की
हम्म.
हा हे बाळ रडतंय, आपल्याला म्हणजे आपल्याला सगळ्यांनाच या बाळाचा खूप जास्त त्रास होतोय, सो आपण या बाळाला हॉस्पिटलमध्ये परत देऊन टाकूया, आपण ठेवूयाच नको या बाळाला इथे.
ओ अच्छा.
कारण
ओके
त्याला पण कुठेतरी त्याच्या सिबलिंग साठी तर प्रेम आहेच ना त्याच्या मनात, सो त्याला ती इनसिक्युरिटी होईलच ना की मम्मा देऊन टाकेल परत.
ओके ओके ओके. अच्छा, यू
सो
फील
मे बी ही
दॅट.
कॅन कन्फेस की नाही.
अच्छा, इट मे वर्क दॅट वे असं. अच्छा.
हा म्हणजे इनसिक्युरिटी तर असतेच ना त्यांना, जेलसी आहे पण सेम त्यांना प्रेम पण त्यांच्या सिबलिंग साठी तेवढं असतंच बाय डिफॉल्ट.
बरोबर.
सो त्या भीतीने किंवा देऊन टाकेल किंवा काय.
सो ही माइट कन्फेस, यू थिंक?
हा येस, ही
He may-
माहित की नाही तसं तो म्हणजे उगच नाही रडत येतो, मी चुकून चिमटा काढला किंवा माझ्याकडनं चुकून त्याला लागलंय.
ओके, आय सी आय सी आय सी.
तू असं नको करू.
ओके
किंवा
ओके.
त्याला इनडायरेक्टली विचार, तुला राग येतो का रे बाळाचा?
अच्छा.
आई जास्त वेळ देते बाळाला आणि तुला देतच नाही. तुला असं वाटत असेल ना, आई तुझ्याकडे येतच नाही, आईचं लक्ष नाही, असं वाटतं का रे तुला? असं म्हणजे त्याच्या ज्या इन्सिक्युरिटीज ज्या त्याला वाटतायत त्या त्याला बोलून दाखवायच्या.
हो, ते तर संभाषण कुठेतरी सुरू करावंच लागेल ते, की बुवा ही इज फिलिंग लेस लव्ड, शी इज फिलिंग लेस केअर्ड अबाउट, ही इज फिलिंग लेस अटेन्शन, ते बरोबर आहे तुझं. ते कुठेतरी ते डिस्कशन सुरू करावंच लागेल ते. And we have to find the right timing for that discussion. Whether it will be immediately after this event or after a gap of this event is something which will,
अच्छा.
वेगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत त्या म्हणजे.
अच्छा, हा.
But yes, it is absolutely imperative that you have to raise that discussion and you have to let him know ki I love you as much as I love Chotu, and पण तुला वाटत नसेल ते, आणि मग त्याच्याबरोबर ते बोलणं, नाही मला तू तिच्याचकडे बघते, तू तिलाच दूध देते, तू त्यालाच हे करते, सगळं ते होल फिलिंग हॅज टू बी एक्सप्रेस परहॅप्स. अँड आणि एस्पेशली हे लहान मुलं एक्सप्रेस पण फार छान करतात, म्हणजे आपण त्यांना थोडा वेळ दिला तर they express it properly, but this
आता पॉइंट आउटच नाही करायचं पण त्याला ते मिस्टेक त्याची,
आता फार कठीण आहे पॉइंट आउट करणं, कारण की
आणि
तो,
आपणच नेक्स्ट टाइम थोडं काळजी घ्यायची
हो
की
करेक्ट
वी शुड बी देअर
करेक्ट,
when he is
बरोबर
playing with the baby.
बरोबर बरोबर.
आणि त्याला पॉइंट आउट करून काहीच फायदा नाही होणार, कारण इमोशन्सला त्याच्या वाट नाही मिळणार त्याला,
हो,
तर ही फील
बरोबर. मोर गिल्टी.
गिल्टी, आणि मग अजून ते मिक्स्ड अप होतील इमोशन्स. त्यामुळे आता त्याच्या ह्या म्हणजे त्याने हे जे केलेली गोष्ट आहे त्याला ते सांगूच शकत नाही की तू केली ही आयडियली. आणि next time you have to be more careful that somebody has to be there with the baby when he is sitting with the baby, so that he doesn't repeat the act, so that the baby is not harmed. And then slowly after some days then we can just have a word with Swastik, and only Swastik and me, that मी आज तुझ्या जवळच झोपते, आज मी बाळाला बाबा जवळ देऊन टाकते, आज मी माझ्या स्वस्तिक जवळच झोपणार, आज मी त्याचेच लाड करणार, आज मी तुला छान आंघोळ घालू का, तुला तुझ्याबरोबर छान खेळायचं का, किंवा आपण दोघंच पार्क मध्ये जायचं का, बेबीला राहू दे घरी, असं म्हणजे त्याला जे हवे थोडस बोलून मग तो कदाचित ओपन अप होईल, आणि मग तो म्हणेल की मम्मा तू तर सारखी त्यालाच आंघोळ घालते, त्याला कपडे घालते, दिवसभर त्या बेबीला घेऊन बसते तू, मग मला काहीच नाही देत. मग कदाचित तो तेव्हा सांगू शकेल की मम्मा मीच बेबीला चिमटा काढला,
बरोबर.
असं
मे बी, येस,
कदाचित. आणि नाही सांगितलं तरी ठीक आहे, म्हणजे
या
इट इज कम्प्लिटली फाईन. असं म्हणजे आपल्याला त्या मोमेंटला राग येऊ शकतो ऍज अ आई वडील म्हणून, किंवा आपल्याला बाळाची काळजी म्हणून, पण वी हॅव टू कंट्रोल दॅट अँगर अँड अंडरस्टँड द इमोशन्स बिहाइंड इट.
A slightly difficult case is this, this is a third case, Mayura. शी इज 8-year-old चाइल्ड आणि तिची सिस्टर 1 वर्षाची आहे. And she is very social. Mayura has been very social always. And wherever her parents went, she went with her parents, enjoyed with them, had good time with them, with their friends. But lately, she had started refusing to go with the parents. Mom and dad were surprised. What could be the reasons for Mayura unwilling to go to the houses of friends?
So maybe the her attention diverted to the younger one. म्हणजे ती 1 वर्षाचं बाळ झाल्यानंतर सगळ्यांचं अटेन्शन त्याच्याकडे गेलं असेल. तर मग हिच्याकडे लक्ष दिलं गेलं नाही, त्याच्यामुळे मग तिला जेलसी वगैरे फील झालं असेल, म्हणून ती जायला नाही म्हणत असेल.
Okay.
असं मला वाटतं.
Yes, that is one very logical looking reason. आणि असं होतच आपण जेव्हा मोठ्या मुलगा असतो आणि लहान असतो.
आणि आधी आपण सगळ्यात त्याच्याबद्दल कौतुक करणार, मोठ्याबद्दल, आणि अचानक आपण डायव्हर्ट होऊन जातो आणि छोट्याबद्दल बोलायला लागतो, आणि मोठ्याचं ते लक्षातही येत नाही कधी कधी की आपण त्याच्याबद्दल बोललंही जात नाही. त्याच्यामुळे ते त्यांच्या मनात राहतं की आपल्याबद्दल जसं आधी कौतुक केलं जायचं ते आता होत नाही. लहान जे आहे त्याचंच कौतुक होतं, त्याच्यामुळे मग ते.
How do you think can something be done to change this situation? Can help? And that means, can Mayura's parents talk to Mayura in some different way?
येस सर, ऍक्च्युली पॅरेंट्सच बिहेवियर तसं झालं की दोघांकडे तेवढंच लक्ष दिलं गेलं, किंवा मे बी अजून लहान जे आहे त्याच्याकडे तर आपण त्याला समजतच नाहीये, तर मयुराबद्दलच बोललं गेलं किंवा मयुरालाच की हा हिला हे आवडतं, हे करते, असं करते, तर मे बी दॅट विल हेल्प.
Any other idea, Deepali?
No sir.
Okay. पण काहीतरी ऍक्टिव्हिटी करायला पाहिजे ना.
लाईक ऑन पर्पज जास्त फोकस पॅरेंट्सने मयुराकडे दिला पाहिजे, कारण की सिद्धी एनिवेज हॅव नो मेमरीज. तर मयुराचं लाईक ग्रोईंग एज मध्ये मयुरा नीड्स मोर अटेन्शन. ते असं काय म्हणतात ना, प्री डिसाइडेड त्यांनी असं बिहेव केलं पाहिजे पॅरेंट्सने.
Okay.
And to make sure that Mayura doesn't feel ignored.
Frankly, like, I'm feeling difficult to connect to these cases because I have just one single child.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand what I can understand what you're saying. प्रणवचाही तसंच असेल. प्रणवचा मुलगा 3च वर्षाचा आहे ना, प्रणव?
येस सर.
तुलाही हे जरा हे सगळं ऑड वाटत असेल, काय चाललंय?
बट आय फील मोठ्या माणसांमध्ये पण असंच असतं, फक्त इश्यूज आर डिफरंट.
Okay.
But it's like different. Like, yes, of course, I have siblings. But being a sibling and then it's different, and being a parent and managing it is completely different.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
मी नातेवाईकांचं बघितलंय, म्हणजे भावांचं किंवा म्हणजे ज्यांना 2 मुलं आहेत, त्यांच्यातली भांडणं.
I see. आणि घरात तर जिथे फॅमिली अशी काय म्हणतात, जॉईंट फॅमिली असते, तिथे तर फार हे घडी दिसत असतं म्हणजे. ओके.
ही माझी
बोला.
इथं काय माझीच केस वाटली मला.
ओके.
मोठी मुलगी 9 वर्षाची आणि छोटी 9 महिन्यांची.
अच्छा.
आणि मुक्ता तर सरळ बोलते, म्हणजे आता व्हिडिओ कॉल येतो आजी आजोबांचा,
हा.
छोटीलाच विचारतात, तर ती स्पष्ट म्हणते हो तिच्यासाठीच केलाय मी, कशाला बोलत तिकडे.
अच्छा. ओके.
ते काय माझ्याकडे सगळे दुर्लक्ष करतात आता, असं कधी रडते पण.
अच्छा, रडते पण
बोलून. हो हो.
हो, आय सी. ओके.
आणि इतर पण मग आता मी काय करतो की आता सगळीकडे माझं डीपी असेल, वॉलपेपर असेल, सगळीकडे मुक्ताचा मोठ्या मुलीचेच फोटो लावणार.
अच्छा.
छोटीचे काढून नाही लावत मी आता.
अच्छा. ओके ओके.
आणि फ्रेंड्सला पण म्हणजे जाणाऱ्या येणाऱ्यांना सांगत असतो की मुक्तालाही विचारत जा, म्हणजे असं स्पष्ट सांगतो मी सगळ्यांना, सांगणं शक्य होईल.
हो, इज इट?
कारण सगळे नॅचरली ते बाळाशी खेळतात लगेच.
बरोबर बरोबर.
मी थोडे इशारे करून वगैरे सांगत असतो.
आय सी आय सी.
अटेंड हर एज वेल. पण ती अंतर जास्त असल्यामुळे ती आणि मुक्त बोलते, एकदम स्पष्ट बोलते, त्यामुळे ते दिसतं, समजतं काय चाललंय ते. पण त्याचं काही बाकी दोघांमध्ये काही हे नाही झालेलं दुसरं काही, त्यामुळे आपोआपच ते व्यवस्थित डील होत.
ओके. नाही, पण ते ऍक्टिव्हली पण डील करावं लागेल असं पण आहे.
म्हणजे मुक्ताशी बोलायला पाहिजे असं.
हो, मुक्ताशी वेगळं बोललं पाहिजे.
हा, म्हणजे बोलणं म्हणजे लगेच तिथे आम्ही हे केलं की म्हणजे फोन चालू होता फॉर एक्झाम्पल तिथं, आणि ते जेव्हा की हो मला माझ्याशी कोणी बोलत नाही, सगळे तिच्याशी बोलतात, असं सांगितलं की हो लहान मुलं झाले की सगळ्यांचंच अटेन्शन त्यांच्याकडे जातं, असं ते बोलायचं, पण असं कॉन्व्हर्सेशन मध्ये नाही होत.
नाही नाही, मला ते म्हणायचं की देयर शुड बी अ कॉन्व्हर्सेशन बिटवीन यू अँड मुक्ता
अबाउट दिस टॉपिक, म्हणजे
about this topic, that she is being sidelined all the time and how is she feeling internally, and you are understanding that. असं, बिकॉज ते काय, सी रॅशनली समजणं वेगळं आहे. तिला रॅशनली समजत असेल की येस, लाईक यू राईटली सेड, सी लहान आहे, तिलाच अटेन्शन जाणार आहे, हे वगैरे तिला सगळं समजत असेल.
बरोबर.
इमोशन्स आर नॉट रॅशनल.
बरोबर.
डोंट मिक्स द टू. I don't feel bad simply because I can understand why I should not feel bad. So we should clearly understand the difference, and therefore we need to spend have some very specific conversation on this topic.
सवय नसते अशी मुलांची बोलायची.
बरोबर बोललास, बरोबर. आपल्याला सवय नसते खरंच.
सर, कधी कधी ते इमोशन्स पण ओळखता येत नाही की एक्झॅक्टली जेलसी आहे की नाही. म्हणजे काही रिॲक्शन्स किंवा काही ऍक्शन्स अशा असतात की तेव्हा असं वाटतं की नाही काहीतरी पाहिजे म्हणूनच रिॲक्शन केली जाते, पण तिथे जेलसी असते हे ओळखणं थोडं कठीण होतं.
एखादे एक्झाम्पल घे ना, एक्झॅक्ट.
एखादं एक्झाम्पल ऍक्च्युली आता आज माझ्या लक्षात आलं की माझ्या दोन्ही मुलांमध्ये माझी मुलगी मोठी आहे विभावरी आणि मुलगा विराज लहान आहे. तर मग विभावरीचं कसं होतं की
किती वर्ष विभावरी, किती वर्षाची?
English or Hindi, please?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vasundhara.
Yeah.
Ha, Deepali, please
She's
continue.
not. He's 5 now.
Your voice broke in between. You'll have to repeat it again.
Okay, sir. So Vibhavari is 10 years old and Viraj is 5 years old.
Okay.
And sometimes what happens, Vibhavari, if they both are playing, that time Vibhavari will do something like उसको हाथ लगाएगी, उंगली दबाएगी या फिर कुछ तो भी वो उसका कुछ कर रहा है फिर भी she will go and do that. तो ऐसे कभी होता था कि मुझे ध्यान नहीं आता, so recognize ही नहीं हुआ what is happening with her and him also. तो झगड़े होते थे, मारा मारी, एक दूसरे को मारा. देन मैं बोलती थी कि जो विराज है उसको बोलती थी कि नहीं उसको खेलना है, तू जा, वो क्या बोल रही है खेल, ऐसा। लेकिन वो जेलसी था। अभी कभी कभी ऐसा समझ में आता है कि नहीं
I
वो
see.
जेलसी है।
I see. I see.
ये अभी समझा मुझे,
Okay.
आजचा जो टॉपिक सुरू झाला
I see.
तेव्हा
I see.
असे अनेक इन्सिडेंट्स आहेत. सो ये जब अपन पेरेंटिंग का करते तभी मैंने भी इसका किया था पेरेंटिंग गर्भ संस्कार का, लेकिन वो थोड़ा अलग था। लेकिन इसमें अभी जो इमोशंस है वो अभी समझ में आ रहा है कि एक दूसरे के साथ में कैसा रिलेशन डेवलप करना है। बहुत झगड़े होते हैं दोनों के, लेकिन ये नहीं समझ में आता कि ये किसके तरफ से है। लेकिन
Okay.
आज समझा कि ये एल्डर वन की तरफ से है। और ज्यादा से क्या होता है, मेरा ध्यान विभावरी के पास नहीं रहता, लेकिन वो मेरी हर एक चीज देखती है, हर एक चीज ध्यान में रखती है कि नहीं तू ऐसा कर रही हो, ऐसा कर रही है। मैं मोबाइल भी हाथ में लूंगी तो आके देखेगी क्या कर रही है मोबाइल में।
I
Like
see.
that.
I see. I see. Yeah, good you noticed it, and good you now I observed that all these reactions are perhaps happening because of her jealousy.
Yes, sir.
See, so now you will have some, what is the word? Some more resources to respond to her.
Yes, respond to her. And like I can try to mirror these emotions with her also, or I will try to talk with her, sit with her.
Correct.
Sometimes कभी-कभी क्या होता था, उससे कुछ बात करी कि नहीं तू ऐसा मत कर, तो वो गुस्सा होके जैसे अभी एक केस था, रूम में दूसरे रूम में निकल जाना ऐसा।
I see. Okay.
तो नहीं तू बात ही मत कर, ऐसा अननोइंगली ये होता है।
बरोबर.
आमच्या इकडे सर इन आवर केस अबीर ट्राइज टू बिहेव एज इफ ही इज अ पेरेंट ऑफ रिदान.
I see. Okay.
रिदान डोंट डू दिस, रिदान डोंट डू दॅट, असं म्हणजे
अच्छा.
ऍज इफ ही इज लाईक ही इज द पेरेंट अँड
हाँ.
वे वी बिहेव विथ हिम ही ट्राइज टू बिहेव
With him. अच्छा. अच्छा.
और
अच्छा.
whenever he's alone, then that time he takes him in
अच्छा.
the corner and then he teaches don't do that, don't do. But it's different when the jealousy is there. Definitely we thought it will not be there, or but it's always there, I think.
No, it is always there, always there. We should never assume that it is not there. Never assume. I mean, it is very, very 1% in case where it will not be there. Now, this is a different kind of a jealousy. Case 4. Jeevan is studying in 4th class. He is very vocal. And but when he came from the school, he looked grumpy. And mom knew that तिचे कुठले exams marks येणार आहेत environment subjects. So she asked him, how many marks have you got? He replied 23. She was surprised because in the last test he had got only 21. So she said, wow. But after a while he said, Adya has got more marks than me. And he looked very upset. How should mom mirror his emotions? This is a second kind of a jealousy. Jealousy of not people kind of a jealousy, personal. Resentment of someone's success. Resentment of someone getting more than I am getting. And this is a jealousy which you will observe a lot, even when there is no sibling. So maybe here Kranti can connect more better. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
can directly talk to him that I can see that you are upset because your friend got more mark.
Okay.
I guess we can directly talk here. And then definitely then Jeevan would say something. I had done that, studied well, I made a silly mistake or something. Explanations he'll have, and then we can
just try to be in that emotion. How will you try to remain in that emotion? See,
So we can just ask you, I can see that you are upset
Are you
okay.
feeling
because your
angry
friend got good
that
marks.
he has
Even
got
I
more?
feel the same. It's okay sometimes to you feel such way.
Are you
अजून
feeling
अजून
angry on
हा करेक्ट. Are you
are you
feeling
feeling
angry?
angry on Adya that he has got more marks than you?
Yes, okay,
Or do you feel like not talking to him?
right.
What do you feel about it when he gets more marks and you get less marks?
Hmm.
So
Do you think Adya is more smart than you, more clever than you?
so are you feeling jealous about him?
Yes.
So yes, I'm
Are,
feeling
are you
very
are you feeling that now he will have more friends than you?
Hmm.
See, you have to go into the shoes of Jeevan now,
Right.
and try to imagine from Jeevan's perspective, empathy of Jeevan as to what he must be feeling. See, some of this may be useless. I mean, in the sense he is not feeling. But you want him to tell you, yes, this is what I'm feeling. I'm very angry at him. Because the teacher said very good about him. Teacher smiled at him, and that smile was very important for him. We don't know that, such things. So therefore, we talk of different things and remain in that emotion, not intellectual part of that emotion, in the emotion, so that the child expresses it slowly. म्हणजे त्याला ते लहान गोष्ट पण एक्सप्रेस करायला मदत होते. की इट कुड बी इवन ॲज सिली ॲज की ते काय ही गॉट मोर मार्क्स आणि माझा मित्र आहे तो मला चिडवायला लागला आता. Everything else is aside. This fellow is not pleasing me. So even that could be the botheration which is having.
असं सोशली जेव्हा बऱ्याच ठिकाणी होतं असं म्हणजे हे जेलसी हा खेळताना
बरोबर.
म्हणजे जे बिल्डिंग किंवा कॉलनीचे फ्रेंड्स ते स्टार्ट you start becoming jealous because he didn't took me in that game or
In the
he
game,
gave me
correct.
he gave me that den and they all decided to give me the den and so I had to took the I have
अच्छा.
to take the den and play like the way they wanted. So,
Correct.
it is like so much amount.
बरोबर.
Many times you face that emotion of jealousy. I think
Correct.
in your regular daily life. But if at all we talk about that emotion, maybe not in the form of that it is jealousy, but are you feeling bad? It doesn't give that much amount of depth, no?
त्याच्या आजूबाजूचं see, the more context we understand of our child, the more easy it is to mirror the emotion. But naturally we are not God. I mean, we don't know what is happening in his mind all the time. So we have to make some educated guesses and hope कि वो तुक्का लग जाएगा and वो बात करने लगेगा. And the good part of it is the more you do this, the more the trust talk develops with the child, and more easily the child talks with you next time. See, this whole thing takes a lot of time initially. Once that ice is thawed, and once the trust talk between you and your child is developed, then it is very easy.
True. Today also the same thing happened. After the school, Ridan called me in the clinic and he asked me that I don't want to go to that skating class.
Okay.
Then he said, I am tired. Then I said, okay. Then Abir had to go to English class. So if you're saying no to him, if he's saying he's not going, you also have to agree with me that you don't have to send me to the class. Then I said, no, we can't take holiday because we have taken last week 2 holidays. So we have to go this week. Then then I said, we will talk after I come home.
Okay.
Then he kept on calling me in the clinic and I was unable to answer or talk to him.
Okay.
So then it was a big challenge. While I sitting
correct.
in the car, I was like, now I have to face many things. So how will I get prepared and what should I talk? Maybe I just म्हणजे मी रिवाइंड केले आणि आय स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग इन द कार दॅट व्हॉट आय हॅव टू टॉक विथ द बीर.
Okay.
So I spoke to him and I decided that I have to talk to him clearly that okay, last week you told me that you don't want to go to the class. That time I accepted your request and we have not gone to the class. So this week we have to attend because we can't miss the class. Then
नाही, but
I
here what
told
is the issue?
हे
हा,
एक्सप्लेनेशन देत होती
exactly.
मी. पण मी म्हटलं की पहिले आय हॅव टू
Correct.
मिरर हिज इमोशन. सो देन आय वेंट अँड हॅड अ वर्ड विथ मी. I had a word with him and then I told की तुला असं वाटतंय का मी रिदानला नाही रिदानने एकदा फोन केला आणि मी त्याला I have said yes, okay, you can't go to the class and for you I am not listening and I am sending you to the class. So you're feeling angry on me? Yes, I'm feeling extremely angry on you. I cried a lot. Do you know that? Yes, I can see that on your face.
Okay.
So are you feeling jealous of Ridan and that Mama is being very kind to Ridan and she's not considering you, Abir? He said, yes, I'm feeling very irritated. Whenever he calls you, he tells you any request, you accept his
अच्छा.
request. He says that I want a toy, you buy that toy. You buy small things for him, and you accept his all small things, and you're not accepting mine. But I kept on listening to him. After listening to all his things, then I told him ki last week तर झालं होतं ना अबीर. Last week we had taken the holiday ना. So can you
नाही, मग
please
अशा वेळेस उलट का नाही करता आलं तुला मधुरा? आता काय करायचंय तुला? आता सांग, आता तुला काय वाटतं? असं नाही करता आलं का?
So then he would have told me that he doesn't want to go to the class. He told me till the last moment we reached the class. Then also I was talking to him so that let it be late. It is okay, but I will have a word with him till I find him that he is normal. But sir, मी त्याला हा option दिला असता तर then he would have selected of not going to the class. Then I would have म्हणजे to respect his emotion तर मग मला त्याला I have to accept that whatever decision he's taking, okay, I'll accept. But that is not correct in every part of the life, na. So somewhere I have to draw the line that I cannot go ahead. He cannot go beyond
या
that.
नाही, आणि ते मे बी एवढं अजून ते ट्रस्ट ऑफ डेव्हलप नाही झालेलं आहे अजून. सो वी हॅव टू गिव्ह सम टाइम फॉर दॅट ऑल्सो.
Yeah, maybe. So उलट करायचं म्हणजे काय करायचं होतं?
Nothing. I'm so it is, you are right ki your case is different and Ridan's case is different. So Ridan's case I explained to you. This case, now you tell me, do you want to go or not go? का रिदान जात नाही म्हणून तुला नाही जायचंय असं डायरेक्टली ते अंगावर जायचं त्या इमोशन.
असंच म्हटलं मी तुला.
हा, मग जर तसं म्हटलं तर सोडून द्यायचं त्याला.
नाही जाऊ द्यायचं.
हा, नाही जाऊ द्यायचं. कारण की त्याला एकदा ते समजलं पाहिजे की दुसऱ्याचं हे इमोशन करून माझं नुकसान नाही करून घ्यायचंय मला. सी, वी ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू टीच देम दिस ना. Because someone else is angry and you are now expressing your anger, using that anger for yourself and not doing your work is not going to benefit you. हे आपल्याला त्याला सांगायचंय कुठेतरी. I don't know whether this was the right time to tell, but I am saying this is a chance we can use. See, what I feel, Abir, is ki you're right. I said yes to Ridan and I'm not saying no to you. So you are feeling upset and therefore you don't want to go. But now it is your choice. You are going to miss the class. So because of Ridan missing his class, if you want to miss a class, I can't do anything about it. I can understand. But I think you should go because that is Ridan's problem, not your problem. So you are slowly trying to treat them as adults, as human beings who can understand. Because you did so much of good mirroring, I'm saying. That's why. Without this mirroring, otherwise you can't come even to this point of discussion. It is not possible.
Because of mirroring only, he spoke many things.
It is. You could come to this level.
It's difficult to draw a line where
Yes, you're
how
right.
much
You're
to
right.
allow the kids to take their own decisions and
Yeah.
how much not to. That is, we are differentiating the emotion from the action of that emotion.
Correct. 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 Okay. Case 5. Riva is in 4th class, complaining to mom that she was caught because she was speaking in Marathi. Riva's mom said, I can understand what you must be feeling, because you got punished for speaking in Marathi. He said, no, mom, I was speaking with Navya, who does not understand English properly. She is new in the class. So actually, I was trying to help her. So this is slightly a tricky situation. What should Riva's mom do to mirror her emotions? Do you think this is a case of jealousy?
No,
So
jealousy is
here, if we
not
appreciate
owning the
Riva for helping her friend, and then we can directly say, "अरे हाँ, I can understand you're upset because हे टीचरला बहुतेक माहिती नसेल असं." And then she'll understand, की, okay, ठीक, whatever I've done was right. At least my mama knows. So, well, she'll say, की, हो, पण मला वाईट वाटतंय रागवलं तर. Then we can say, हो अगं, असं वाटतं वाईट, असं आपण काही चांगलं करत असून कोणाला ते लक्षात नाही आलं तर आपल्याला येतो राग. तुला राग आलाय का टीचरचा? की त्यांनी तुला रागवलं तुझी चूक नसताना असं. Directly we can say that. तर मग रिवाला कळेल की हो तो राग आहे आणि तो ऑब्वियस राग आहे. then she'll.
So why is this a part of is it a jealousy?
it's not owning the responsibility because of others.
No, I didn't get you.
It is a part of jealousy कारण की मैत्रिणीची चूक नाही म्हणता येणार पण मैत्रिणीला नव्हतं समजत तर तिला तर रागवले नाही मलाच रागवलं तर she might feel jealous of that. की मलाच रागवण्यात आलं तिला नाही रागवण्यात आलं. मी तिला हेल्प करत होते इनफॅक्ट असं.
Yeah, so it may be a jealousy of that the teacher did not scold that friend of hers or punished her, and she instead of that she punished me. असं का?
हा तसं.
Okay. Yeah, in that case it is jealousy. But there is also another situation here. Riva has kind of overtaken or rather managed to handle her problem of English speaking and that what is happening in the student, and then trying to help her friend despite, and then getting punished for it. So isn't that a good feeling? That means Riva has managed to capture her jealousy, overtake her jealousy, overcome her jealousy, and help her friend. So remember what we say, jealousy always is seen as a competition all the time. So if you see here, jealousy is not seen as a competition. She has gone beyond that and seen jealousy. She has seen jealousy more. She's not seeing it as a jealousy, sorry. And she is seeing her relationship with her friend more as a collaboration, more as a friend who needs help. And I think we should admire our children who can overcome their feeling of competition all the time, because this feeling of competition is being fed in the school every day, every moment, all the time. So when our children behave like this, like Riva behaves, it is really good to congratulate them and say, wonderful, it is good you helped your friend. Even though you got punished for it. Okay. I just wanted to highlight that aspect, competition.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Ha, Dipali.
Yes, the same thing happened with my daughter also.
Okay.
Actually, in the class, she got 5 marks less because of she was showing her paper, maths paper to her friend.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's a teacher deducted her 5 marks. So she was crying for that. Mama, why this happened? But one day there was a meeting with teacher, so I asked teacher what was happening and why this happened. Why you are deducting the marks for that reason?
Hmm.
So even Vibhauri was there. So teacher explained everything in front of her. That's
Okay.
what I wanted there.
Okay.
Because मी तसं एक्सप्लेन करू नसते शकले बिकॉज
Hmm.
द टीचर वांट टू मतलब क्या है कि टीचर को ऐसा चाहिए कि दोनों को 10th के हिसाब से रेडी करना एग्जाम के लिए. सो शी वॉज एक्सप्लेनिंग दॅट थिंग की 10वीला जाणार तेव्हा दाखवलं आणि स्वतः दुसऱ्याने पण बघणं ते योग्य नाही असं.
Okay. Okay. So she
Then
also
she
want,
was
she also want to tell the Vibhavari that you should not show it to your friend.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
So what teacher did, she deducted 5 marks her also and her friends also.
Oh, I see.
तिचे आणि
I see.
मैत्रिणीचे. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay. अच्छा. अच्छा.
But sir, यार मैत्रिणीमध्ये jealousy कशी असणार? That I'm not connected with that thing. की the two friends and jealousy कशी connect करणार?
जेलसी असतेच दीपा आपली. मैत्रिणी माझी किती चांगला मित्र असो, मैत्रीण असो, इफ ही गेट्स 5 marks more than me, I am jealous. If she is beautiful than me, I am jealous. If he is smarter than me, I am jealous. If he is wearing a beautiful shirt and pant which I am not wearing, I am jealous.
Okay.
हे अगदी कॉमन फिलिंग आहे, काही हे नाही आहे म्हणजे ते.
पण ते एवढं नॅचरल असतं की ते jealousy सोबत रिलेट करणं
करेक्ट
डिफिकल्ट आहे.
येस. नाही, ते थोडा आपला प्रॉब्लेम आहे दीपावली. त्यात वी हॅव ट्रीटेड जेलसी ॲज व्हेरी बिग ऑन आवर हेड आणि ऑलमोस्ट लाईक आपण त्याला वी कॉल इट इव्हिल, म्हणजे घाण गोष्ट जी वी शुड नॉट ऍडमिट टू अवरसेल्फ दॅट वी आर जेलस. And that is the reason we are making a big hue and cry of these things. Actually, jealousy is very normal for a children. So if we also help the child to express that normally, then it is really not a problem.
Sir, but how to help in that case? How to help the children?
Same way, mirroring.
Because even okay, तर आपल्याला
Constantly.
ते कळत नाही ना jealousy आहे ते.
हो.
समटाइम्स ही सिच्युएशन दुसरीकडे जाते.
हो.
आपण कधी
नाही,
कधी चिडतो किंवा रागवतो.
करेक्ट. कधी कधी रागवतो.
हा, कारण की आपल्यालाच कळत नाही ना त्याच्यामुळे.
So like I told you, all these situations, you assume that this is jealousy.
Okay.
And don't worry about, in fact, she is not even, म्हणजे तिला काही वाटणार नाही जितकं आपल्याला वाटतं.
येस, ते लवकर विसरतात आपल्यापेक्षा.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to, oh my God, 10:30. So what I will do is, instead of taking this 6 case, I will shift to the next emotion, and we are going to stop at 11 today. So wherever we stop, we'll wind up, and we will continue this in the next session also, depending upon how the time adjustments happen. Okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because these are similar cases, nothing very different. Okay. Yeah, now we'll just tackle shame emotion. So like you rightly pointed out, jealousy is very subtle emotion, and it is expressed as a personal jealousy, uh, uh, people jealousy when it's a sibling kind of a situation, or a personal jealousy when it is not a sibling kind of a situation. It is expressed as a competition, is expressed as a resentment of someone having more than me, and that more can be dress, more can be looks, more can be good shoes, more can be anything, you know. So that is why jealousy, we should tackle it upfront and not carry the weight of that jealousy on our head as a bad emotion. You know, the judgment आहे ना, ते आपण jealousy ला फार मोठे value देतो. We should not give so much of importance to it and try to treat it as a normal emotion. The jealousy problem is really not there with the child if we treat it normally like that. What are shame emotions? Okay, so this is Jinx, the last category, S. Now, shame emotions. Shame emotions are negative emotions and positive emotions. You know, we experience negative emotions like embarrassment, guilt, shame when we do not adhere to shoulds. Shoulds, should म्हणजे असंच व्हायला पाहिजे. Shoulds are like this. And positive emotions such as righteousness, virtue, when we adhere to them. Suppose I believe in honesty, and if you behave honestly, then I will have a positive emotion. If you do not behave honestly, I will have a negative emotion vis-a-vis you. So the same emotion can be negative or positive, depending on whether you adhere to my should of honesty or whether you do not adhere to my should of honesty. So it all depends on how you behave. So shame emotions are emotions generated by shoulds. मुद्दामून असं नाव दिलंय शूड ज्याला. शूड म्हणजे असंच व्हायला पाहिजे. शूड ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. What are shoulds? Shoulds are part of beliefs. You know, for example, if you speak truth, you can succeed in life. If you speak English, you have a future. If you understand maths, you will succeed in life. You know, these are shoulds. And they are called as part of beliefs. And beliefs are sometimes also seen as assumption or conclusions. Conclusion like this. If you understand maths, तेरे दुनिया में एकदम अच्छा हो जाएगा तेरा. अगर तू इंग्लिश बात कर सकता है, तेरी लाइफ बन गई. English, speak English. So these are shoulds. And the funny part is, beliefs are not true or false. They are always wrong, sometimes to some degree, which is their fault. They are also to some degree true, which is their attraction. So it's a very tricky, beliefs are very tricky way of dealing with. They are partly wrong and they are partly right. And they are useful because they help us make choices when enough information is not available to us. So when enough information is not available, they help you do quick choices. पटकन आपल्याला निर्णय घेण्यात मदत करतात. They help us take decisions. So look at these shoulds. So our shoulds can be an opinion or a conviction or a belief or a transactional belief or a value. You know, this is just आपली त्याची value importance statement होते. For example, speaking English is very important for succeeding in life. Can be your opinion, can be your conviction, can be your belief, or can be your value also. So the shoulds vary because of this potency. त्या गोष्टीला किती importance देतो आपण, how much importance we give to speaking English depends on the potency. So if you see this, yeah, potency increases with information and people. So when will I believe that English is most important to succeed? If I am a globally moving person, then I will say, Arey Baba, I have gone to Europe and I have gone to South Africa and I have found out English is the only common language in the world. And therefore I start believing that English is, speaking English is a value, so important in life. From these beliefs, I generate personal beliefs also, and my personal preferences. And from these personal preferences, I, create values from this. What are values? They help us answer question why to earn money or why to live life. So what are values? They help us answer questions why to earn money. कशासाठी जगायचं? On the other hand, from the beliefs there are some facts also. Science, same. For example, the best example now is COVID. COVID is very good example. We started everything based on beliefs initially. And slowly, as we start getting information, we separated them into science, separated them into beliefs. So even today, we don't understand enough about how to tackle COVID, because we are keeping on getting more and more. Science is giving us a lot more information about COVID and trying to help us understand things. But tari kiti kela, there is always a difference, there is always a gap between our understanding of information. And these shoulds which we are talking about, either convictions or opinions. Shoulds have three qualities. They are subjective view of reality. It is my subjective view of reality that English speaking is most important in life. It cannot be verified by objective evidence like in science. No one can verify my statement and say that objectively it is true in different situations. And therefore, shoulds are reinforced when large number of people believe in them. So when English speaking is the right thing to succeed, this belief is reinforced when more people believe in it. So I will feel better if Mahesh believes in it, if Pranav believes in it, even Ujjwal sir believes in it. I will not feel reinforced if you say ki nahi sir, asa nastate. English is important, but I will tell you 10 cases where Marathi was also equally important. So shoulds are always the potency of shoulds depend upon the number of people who believe in that value. So how should affects emotions? When shoulds acquire potency, they generate strong emotions like shame, guilt, regret, happiness. But even shoulds with low potency always generate emotions. Okay. So why do we use these shoulds? Now look at this diagram and you will realize ki आपण हे का वापरतो एवढं. You remember this diagram which we had drawn of jealousy, and we said that if I am jealous, then my inadequacy feeds jealousy. म्हणजे मी जर jealous असेल and I am also inadequate, then I am more jealous, and this loop goes on like this. More inadequacy, more jealousy, more jealousy, more inadequacy. And because I am more jealous, I also have social anxiety. Because I am now worried about people. I compare with them all the time. I worry ki should I go with this friend or not with this friend because he has a Mercedes and he doesn't have a Mercedes. So jealousy also creates social anxiety. Now, when our anxiety and jealousy is so high, these shoulds, which we talked about just now, which are a part of beliefs, gives an easy solution as an individual. मला एकदम सोपं solution सापडते. What is that solution? I suddenly find a value and then I come and say, I believe in education. Mahesh, I want to now do, and I want to help the uneducated people, in the slums people. So I will adopt a value now. So if I adopt a value like that I will help education, slum people, and I will give them education, suddenly this value gives me a freedom now. And it makes me see the world in a different way now. Now, when I say this and when I do this, now what I do, what happens? Now my jealousy reduces. Why? Because now what I can say, Pranav is a good person, he's a software engineer, but he doesn't believe in education. He सगळे पैसे स्वतःवर खर्च करतो. So माझ्या व्हॅल्यूला now I feel rightful in feeling jealous about Pranav. Why? Because he is not adhering to my value. And because now I feel helping downtrodden people in education is a value, now I feel very easy to say I'm not jealous about Pranav, because Pranav doesn't have any value. असं म्हणतो मी सरळ सरळ. So see what I have done. By using these shoulds, I have created a थोडीशी एक माझी जागा तयार केली आहे मी आता. So I feel nothing wrong in feeling jealous about Pranav now anymore. In fact, I very strongly say, tell Mahesh, बघ मला वाटायचं की प्रणव खूप चांगला आहे, पण प्रणवला काही व्हॅल्यूच नाही एज्युकेशनच्या लोकांची, सगळं स्वतःसाठीच करतो तो. मी त्याला मदत मागितली थोडीशी. आय वेंट टू हिम अँड सेड की आय वॉन्ट टू your help in going to that slums and educating people. He said he doesn't have time. So now I feel very rightful in telling Mahesh ki, I feel nothing wrong now in criticizing Pranav. Suddenly I get an independence from people because I hold these values, these shoulds. So see what has shame emotions done to me. It makes me feel good about myself, and it makes me hate you without feeling bad about it. See the interesting dynamic here. छान आयडिया क्रिएट केली आहे मी आता. काय केलं की created a value. That value helped me criticize Pranav and then not even feel bad about it, and also feel good about myself that now I am holding a value. So एका दगडा पक्षी मारले मी. In one stone I have hit two birds. And now in a house, now remember, I am in a house where we are boss, we can create a huge shame feelings in others. So घरामध्ये जर मी बॉस आहे, I can use this shame rules in the house and create shame feelings in others and feel good about me, about myself. For example, I will say my personal child must always be disciplined to achieve anything in life. Now I feel right in disciplining my children. My children might feel very bad because of my rule of this, but I don't feel any more bad. I feel right now because discipline is very important in life. So I'm holding to this value, and by using this value, my children are not feeling good about it, but I don't care about it now anymore, because I say ki nahi, tumhala mahit nahi, avishya mahit nahi. That's why you are not agreeing with me. Or I'm hold value, she must learn to speak English. See, if my child doesn't speak English, if I hold this value, then I will beat her. You remember that Sharwari's case which we took, where the Sharwari's mother was trying to desperately teach her child to speak English, and she was refusing or anything, how will he succeed in life? So have you seen parents, moms who will, become a bhatkanti moms, like for example, in the morning, they will take, the son comes at 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock from the school, they will take him to the tennis class at 4 o'clock. Then they will pick him at 5 o'clock, drop him at karate class. They will pick him at karate class and drop him at music class. So they want their child to learn everything because that is how you will succeed in life. The child is not enjoying it, child is not loving it. She must go in best school to become a better human being. So these are the different shoulds I adopt, and then I want everyone to live and adopt these values in my house. And you can add to this list if you sit with your spouse. Can you identify with any of them? Or they are too wild?
It's like शाळेत गेला तरच शिक्षण होईल. So
बरोबर,
going to
बरोबर.
school is must.
Correct. Oh, that is yes. That is even a bigger should. Yeah. And unfortunately, the women folk fall in this trap of shoulds more often than men folk because of the same thing which we have been talking all the time. You remember I shared that article with you people, a hilarious article of why women and men are treated differently in parenting, even when they do the same thing. So like that article said very beautifully, if a woman orders fast food, then woman is careless. She doesn't even look at the house. Why? If the man orders fast food for his children, then man is very caring because he is worrying about his child and what his child should get. So same, and this is happening because of this cultural problem of ours also, where we believe that it is woman's job to ensure that our child should be the best in the world. And this is forcing women, to adopt these shoulds and then living by them and then creating a lot of shame emotions in the child all the time. And she doesn't realize that. Not that she doesn't understand it, I feel. She doesn't realize that because she will say, everything is right here, Sanjeev. What do you say? Do you think without speaking English, anyone can succeed in life? So all these values are right. Nothing wrong with them. But they become obsessed with it. They use it as a method of expressing their inadequacy, expressing their feeling of anxiety, and finding a space for themselves to feel good, to be in control. Okay, anyone wants to comment on it? Okay. So let us understand how we use these shoulds in our lives. So these shoulds are very important. There are 5 types of shoulds we live. One is personal, second is social, ethical, economic. That means what kind of importance I give in my life about money, and ecological. These are general 5 shoulds which affect us. And naturally, the first 2 matter the most. Okay. Now we will take some time to ponder over them. Have you paid money to get ticket on a railway journey? Black money. Have you ever done that? And so it's a personal should. Many people don't do it. And they say, no, that is my value. मैं कभी दुनिया में जिंदगी में पैसे नहीं दूंगा कभी. Is paying premium money right or for the last minute booking? My friend, I had a friend who used to hate these rogues, he used to call them rogues, people moving around here and asking कि साहब टिकट चाहिएगा, 200 रुपए दो मैं आपको टिकट दिलवाता हूँ कल का परसों का. And now today we pay this premium gladly for getting railway ticket on Tatkal. Okay. और पासपोर्ट, पासपोर्ट में भी ये बहुत पैसे कमाने के दिन रहते थे. In fact, their tickets today are priced according to the time of taking a ticket. The later you take a ticket, the higher you pay for it. In other words, our personnel should change when institutional structure changes. Suddenly now paying more money for the last minute booking has become a norm because it is now institutionalized. It has become a social should. Second example, do you have fights with auto fellows anymore now? I remember these auto fellows fights when I was in Mumbai. I was living in Andheri. And every day when I had to come from Andheri station to my place in Four Bungalows, there was a fight. Because it was in the evening time, 7 o'clock, and he always wanted more money. He always wanted more money on Sundays. I used to always argue with the drivers because it was very unfair. I used to feel it is, he's looting me. You had this experience? Any one of you? नासिक में तो होता नहीं है because नासिक रिक्शा ही नहीं है. It must be happening in Pune and in Mumbai also, I feel. Deepali, you must not be experiencing it because you live in Dadar.
Yes, sir.
But now what happens? Now we look at the Uber and Ola screen and say, we do not even discuss it as unfair. Why? Because we are told in advance that the demand is higher in the evening at 7 o'clock, so you have to pay more fare. Or demand is higher in the morning, so you have to pay more fare. See, our personal values, personal shoulds have changed completely. And because we now get information in advance. This was a huge value to our parents, speaking truth. In fact, I had one parent coming to me when she found out that his child is 5 years old. He's speaking a lie. She came to me and said, "Ki sir, याला सांगा काही. आम्ही ब्राह्मण लोक आहोत. आमचे संस्कार असे नाही आहेत आणि हा असा खोटं बोलतो म्हणे घरात. He's speaking lies every now and then." And truth and integrity was very important for us that time. And now what has happened? Today psychologists tell us that a child of 7 speaks at least 5 lies in a day. So suddenly this fellow psychologist come and says, "Ki Baba, ye tumhare, whatever you thought that we were not speaking lies is actually wrong." So usefulness of the states have been questioned now. And now we use interpret truth the way in which suits us. Corruption. Corruption is illegal. But if you are working in government, many claim that it is impossible to refute. I have a friend who who is in PWD, and so he had this huge problem. What to do now? Should he refuse the money and face the consequences of getting sidelined in the job? And you know what he has decided to do? I mean, I'm very surprised with his decisions. And he is doing this for last 12 years now. He has become a Robin Hood. Robin Hood manje काय? Whatever money he gets now from his so-called number 2 money, he gives it to orphanages, he gives it to people who need it. You know. So he has converted that into feeling good about what he's doing. And one of the other person who was my classmate and was very stickler about this value, he changed his job. He was a civil engineer and he took a shifting in a job where there was no such money transaction involved. So such a difficult decisions have to be taken, you know, when values are being questioned. So to practice one's personal should, one has to overcome social system. In some situations, cleanliness is a virtue, like in Truth is Medicine or Madhura. You know, cleanliness is an absolute value. Because it affects, you know, work and everything. But for many, value of cleanliness is an expression of inadequacy. So I have seen many women has converted value of cleanliness into a big value because it has become an expression of inadequacy for them. You know. See, remember, inadequacy emotion arises because you feel worthless. And now, to prove that you are right and worthy, you suddenly hold on to such value of being clean at home, and which cannot be questioned. No one can question that you are wrong in being clean, being meticulous at home. No one can question it. So my request to such people is that please check this out, whether your value is coming out of inadequacy or whether your value is coming out of choice. Because they create a very dangerous emotions, you know, righteous emotions on your part and frustration emotions for the child. Because you believe in orderliness and keeping your house clean and orderly, you always feel righteous about it. You always feel virtue because of your value. But it is a frustration for the child. What is the time? 11:05. I think we'll take a break, and I wanted to continue this social should, but it will take another half an hour to finish. So I don't think it is okay. It is already late. We will not be able to discuss all those things which we want to discuss. So we'll continue this discussion in the next session. By the way, next session is going to be now a mixture